The morning sun rose slowly over the quiet countryside as a thin layer of mist clung to the golden fields stretching beyond the dirt road. Ethan Hale, a 34-year-old single father with tired eyes and calloused hands, pedaled his rusted bicycle slowly toward the edge of town. On the back seat sat a small wooden crate filled with the tools he had collected, over the years most old, some borrowed, all precious to him. His daughter Lily, an 8-year-old with sun-kissed cheeks and a ponytail that bounced with every bump, rode behind him on a tiny bicycle of her own, working extra hard to keep up. Ethan slowed down to check on her. "You okay back there, sweetheart?" he asked gently. She nodded, though she was breathing hard. "I'm trying, Daddy. I know, you're doing perfect." He wished he could afford a proper bike for her. But wishes didn't fix life, work did. And today he needed every minute of it. Rent was due in 5 days. Food was running low, and he had promised himself he would never let Lily see the weight he carried. They reached the old country turn where a wooden sign read, Willow Creek Farms. Ethan had been told by a neighbor that the owner needed help repairing a shed. The pay was low, but it was all he had found. He couldn't afford to refuse. They walked their bikes up the gravel path toward a farmhouse, surrounded by towering oak trees. Chickens scattered. 2 dogs barked but didn't approach. And beside a large vegetable garden stood a half-collapsed shed. Its roof bent inward like a wounded animal. Ethan exhaled. This was going to take more work than he expected. Lily tugged at his shirt. "Daddy, someone's there." He looked up. A woman stepped out from behind a row of apple trees. She wore dusty jeans, a faded green shirt, and worn-out boots. Her auburn hair was tied up messily, and sweat glistened across her brow. She looked strong, capable, and surprisingly elegant even in farm clothes. "Morning," she called out, wiping her hands on a cloth. "You must be Ethan." "Yes, ma'am," he replied. "I came to fix the shed. This is my daughter, Lily." The woman smiled warmly at the little girl. "I'm Clara, nice to meet both of you." Lily shyly waved. Clara crouched down and plucked an apple from the nearby crate. "For you," she said kindly. Ethan opened his mouth to protest. It felt wrong to accept anything for free, but Lily's eyes sparkled and he let it happen. Clara walked Ethan to the shed. "Storm tore half the roof off," she explained. "I tried patching it, but..." She gestured helplessly. "I'm better at growing things than fixing things." Ethan studied the damage, lifting a piece of fallen metal. "It'll take time, but I can repair it." "How much will it cost?" she asked. Ethan hesitated. He didn't want to scare her off by quoting too high, but he couldn't underquote either. "Whatever you can give. I just need the work." Clara's eyebrows tightened slightly, as if she understood more than he'd said. "Then I'll make sure it's worth your time." He nodded and began unloading his tools. Lily sat nearby under a tree drawing shapes in the dirt with a stick. Clara watched them for a while, Ethan working tirelessly, Lily humming softly to herself. There was something about the pair that touched her. Something honest. Something rare. Hours passed. Ethan lifted broken beams, hammered new shingles, and reinforced the structure inch by inch. Sweat dripped from his forehead, but he didn't slow down. He couldn't. He needed this. Clara brought them lemonade. Lily gulped hers happily. Ethan tried to take only a sip, but Clara insisted he drink the whole glass. "You work like someone fighting a battle," she observed. He gave a small, exhausted smile. "Just doing what I can." "Is this your only job?" "For now. Work hasn't been easy to find lately." "Why not?" she asked softly. Ethan paused. "Because I have Lily with me all the time. No family to help. No one to watch her. Employers don't like that." Clara nodded slowly, her heart tightening. "You're doing the best you can. That's the plan." A gust of wind blew through the field, and the scent of wildflowers drifted past them. Clara watched the shed beginning to take shape again. Ethan was skilled. More skilled than many workers she'd hired in the past. But there was something else, too. Humility, precision, pride in the smallest detail. By late afternoon, the sun began lowering behind the trees. Ethan climbed down from the roof with aching legs. The shed, once broken and hopeless, now stood strong and straight. Ethan stiffened. "You said you needed the work," she began. "But what you didn't know is, this isn't just a small farm." He blinked. "What do you mean?" Clara hesitated as if she usually hid this part of her life. "Willow Creek Farms is mine. But this land, these fields, the orchards, The livestock, it's just a fraction of what I own. I inherited 10,000 acres across the region. Multiple farms. My family's been in agriculture for generations. Ethan stared at her stunned. She looked like a regular farmer, humble, hardworking, not someone owning enormous land. I don't understand, he said slowly. You came here today, Clara continued, not knowing anything about me. You didn't try to impress me or negotiate fancy terms. You simply worked hard, honestly, and you taught your little girl what real integrity looks like. Lily stepped closer to her father, confused. Clara held out the envelope. This is your payment, triple what you asked. And I want to offer you something else. Ethan felt his throat tighten. Clara, I can't accept charity. This isn't charity. It's a job offer. He stared at her. I need someone on my main property, she said. Someone trustworthy. Someone who treats everything like it matters. You'd live rent-free in one of the farm cottages. Full salary, flexible hours so you can take care of Lily. And no, I'm not doing you a favor. I'm investing in someone I believe in. Ethan's eyes stung. He blinked quickly so Lily wouldn't see. Why me? Clara smiled gently. Because when you fixed that shed, you didn't know who I was. You treated the job like it was important anyway. People like that are rare. Lily tugged Ethan's sleeve. Daddy, does that mean we won't have to move again? Ethan swallowed hard and knelt beside her. If I take this job, no, sweetheart. We'll finally have a home. Lily wrapped her arms around his neck, relief flooding her small body. Clara watched them, touched more deeply than she expected. Take as much time as you need to decide. Ethan stood. I don't need time, yes, I'll take it. Clara exhaled, smiling warmly. Good, welcome to Willow Creek. As they walked toward their bicycles, something felt different in the air, lighter, brighter. Ethan strapped his tools onto the bike and turned back to look at the farm, the repaired shed standing proudly behind them. It felt like a turning point. A gift, a second chance. Clara called out, Come back tomorrow. I'll show you everything. Ethan nodded. We will. They rode home slowly as the sky turned orange and the world felt new again. For the first time in a long time, hope wasn't something Ethan had to imagine. It was real. It was waiting for him in the fields of Willow Creek. And all of it began with a broken shed, a single act of hard work, and a woman whose quiet empire stretched farther than he'd ever dreamed. The day had revealed more than a job. It had revealed a future he never knew was possible.